Welcome back to Kicking It with Caitlin.
What the flying fuck is up, everyone? Welcome back to Kicking It with Caitlin with your host, me, Caitlin. Yeah, so y'all are probably wondering where the Instagram post was that I promised. I'm so sorry, I lied. I definitely looked at the footage and hell no, I was in my bust down. You know, I was telling you how I was comfortable, having a good time. No, I'm not gonna out myself on the internet like that, so just to save myself the embarrassment, I am not gonna upload it. Honestly, I'm gonna delete the footage right after this because I look bad. Yeah, I look really bad. I learned that way that this camera is like amazing and magnificent and it captures everything in 4K quality, and I didn't understand how good 4K was until it was on my face and I was like, oh my gosh, you could see everything. Like, I'm outing myself now, but for my podcasting class, I recorded a segment to turn in as my final, and you know it's podcasting, so I had to use my camera, right? Oh my gosh, bruh, the lighting was perfect. Like, it was all natural light and the camera was like right in front of my face. You could see my mustache. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. Like, I was sick too. I'm still like getting away from being sick. I guess that's how I should say it. I'm recovering still. But I remember I put my SD card into my computer, looked at the footage, and I freaked out. I ran downstairs and I asked my mom. I was like, "Mom, um, do you see anything on my face?" And she was like, "No." And then I was like, No, come here. And then we stepped outside and I stood in direct sunlight. And she was like, "Well, I can see the pimple on your lips." So she couldn't see my mustache, basically, is what I'm saying. But the camera picked it up, so it was a mess. And I'm just not going to do myself like that. So sorry, guys. But no. I think that's all I want to say for the intro. So I'm going to be really transparent with y'all. I have already recorded this episode once and I didn't like the way it turned out. I think I was doing really well all up until the point where I don't know if it's a situationship that I had or a friends with benefits that I had was like, I was just doing my check-in and he was like, "I'm talking to someone seriously right now." And then my mood completely changed. So I want to talk shit. Maybe not talk shit, but just like vent almost. So it may be because I'm also on my period, but school is finishing up, right? And I'll be honest, I definitely throw myself into work in school because if not, then I start thinking silly, like the way that I am right now. And then I have like too much extra time on my hands. So I start getting like upset and stupid shit like that. So, anyways, school is being let out. I'm having more time to think. And like the more time that I have to think, I'm like, I'm bored. I want to do something. Well, Emily is working. So I can't hang out with Emily. And I'm like, well, you know, it would be nice if I had like a little boyfriend or something. And I told myself, okay, we're going to swipe on Tinder and get a roster going or whatever, like just to pass the time. Because realistically, it would only last from like now until like January 16th, I think. That's when I start school back up again. Bruh, it's the first week out here and I am already like, no, I'm not doing this. So let me tell you how it's been going for me. So while I was in school, I was telling Emily like, oh, this guy is like cute. Like, I'm going to shoot my shot at him. And I never shot my shot at him because honestly, like, I want to be fair to everyone. And I feel like me being like so involved with school, I would be robbing someone of time they could be spending with other people, I guess. Like, I don't feel like the time that I would have with them is quality time since I'm so concerned with what I'm doing myself, like, I think that's not fair. So that's one of the reasons why, I don't talk to people during school. But now that it's out, I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot my shot or whatever. Bruh. Oh my gosh. I humiliated myself. So first, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to shoot my shot. But what should I say? And Emily wasn't helping, right? So then I asked this guy that I have in the gray area, or I thought he was in the gray area. I wouldn't say that we would ever be friends, because to me, if I have slept with you before, I can't ever see you more, or I can't ever see you as a friend. Like, you've literally seen me naked. Like, bro, we can't just go and be friends. That's just my opinion. Because also, TMI, if I'm going to have sex with someone, I do have to, I don't know, like, think of them in some romantic way. Because if not, then it's just not going to work. Yeah, I already tried. It's just not going to work. I'm going off topic. But anyways, I asked that guy, I was like, how should I approach this? And he was like, just like all his pictures. And if he notices you, then he'll say something. And if not, then, he's not interested. And I was like, no, that's some bullshit. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's so lame to me. Because people constantly, like, will like 3 of my pictures in a row and I see it. But I'm like, if you're going to shoot your shot, just say something in my DMs. Like, they're open. I'm probably going to respond anyway. So you might as well just try. So that was a no. And then I asked the people in my class, I was like, like, how would you slide into somebody's DMs, right? Because mind you, I have zero riz when it comes to not saying something like sexual, because I'm not trying to sexualize myself. Like, I'm trying to get like a boo or like a temporary boo, but I still want them to respect me. So I don't want to set the wrong tone, because if it's for a one night stand, oh, I'm totally fine. I got riz for days. But if it's for something else, I get too nervous and I get anxious and I say the wrong thing, or I won't say anything at all. And yes, I know that is a problem. But that's why I'm reaching out to these people. So I didn't get a good answer from any of them. And it sucked. So what I ended up saying was, hey, it's been a while. How are you doing? With like a blushing, like cutesy face, right? Motherfucker left me on red. Oh my gosh, he left me on red, bitch. He didn't even have the decency to say like good, period. Not answer. He literally left me on red. Ugh. Okay, but here's the thing. So I thought I stood a chance because a long time ago we had talked, like in high school. Well, I thought that we talked because I was like texting him every day or whatnot. And I guess like he just wasn't feeling it. So we fell off, right? And then I guess he got a girlfriend and his girlfriend made him unfollow me. And then he followed me back, but I was still salty and I didn't follow him. And then he unfollowed me again. And just recently I followed him. And then he followed me back. So I was like, okay, I think we're cool now, right? I shoot my shot. Motherfucker leaves me on red. What the fuck? What the heck? Ugh. I do not take denial well at all. Because I barely ever shoot my shot. So I'm like, I've got all this like pent up energy. And I'm like, yeah, we gonna get it in. I'm finna have, someone to pop out with. Someone to do fun things with. No. So another one of my tactics is, on Tinder, I've already explained it. Like, I'll back out of somebody's profile that I think I would swipe right on. But if I know them, I'll back out so that it reshuffles my cards. And if I've seen them multiple times, then I'll swipe right. Because I'm like, okay, well, if they're showing their card to me again, then that means that they must, they must have liked me. Because why am I still seeing this person over and over again? At least that was my theory, right? Oh my gosh. So there was this one guy, like, it was like a month or two ago. And I had swiped right after doing that, and his card didn't say automatically match. That's so embarrassing. I'm really outing myself out here, but I need to vent. So, oh, this is embarrassing. Okay, I've collected myself. So, anyways, I swiped right, and we didn't match, and I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna know that I swiped right on him, because I like to have the upper hand in knowing that I swiped right on them first and then unmatching them, and then I'll take it like to Snapchat or Instagram, right? Well, we ended up matching because he matched with me and I unmatched him the second that I got the notification. So I ended up texting him today, right? I just was like, I like blatantly said, like, how come you had to swipe right on me on Tinder? You could have just hit me up here. And he was like, I didn't hit you up here because you unmatched me after 10 minutes. Oh my God, that was also embarrassing because I guess Tinder delayed the message and I wasn't as sneaky as I thought I was. Oh, it was terrible. And then then I was like, okay, well, I'm texting you now, so what's up? And we like went back and forth and I was like, okay, what are you going to do about it? And he was like, well, I don't text first anyway, so it wasn't going to happen. Cuz I was like, well, if we had already matched for 10 minutes, why didn't you say something? And I was like mocking him like, okay, I didn't know I was like talking to a celebrity or whatever. Like I have to ground him. Like if I'm already texting you first, I have to bring you back down. That's another problem that I have with texting people first. Like, why do people automatically get a big head? It makes me not want to do it. But if I don't do it, then people won't talk to me. Ugh, it's a mess. Whatever. If you get it, you get it. And if you don't, well, you're lucky. So I had kind of texted him, bruh, homeboy has left me on delivered now for 4 hours. And may I be tweaking? Yes. But literally, I've had such a shit day, like, boy wise. There was another guy who I sound like a hoe. I'm not sleeping with these people yet. So like I'm just like saying hello or what's up, right? So there's another guy on Tinder that I had seen at the club before or whatever, and this time it did go my way where when I swiped right, I matched with him and then I unmatched him. And I did the same damn thing. I was like, if you're gonna swipe right on Tinder, how come you just didn't hit me up here? And he like we kind of went back and forth, and he was like, well, I'm not really good with text and whatnot, whatever, right? And we barely got into a conversation. I was like, okay, so like I was just trying to get to know him because I know nothing about him. And I was like, what are your goals? Like, what are your dreams? He left me on red. Bruh, what is going on? Have y'all collectively decided that today is just not my day? Like, it was so bad. So after I was getting all this, like, I don't know, denial, I had texted someone who I have, kind of been, I don't know. I don't know how I would describe it. I'm not trying to out myself too much, but friends with benefits with, I guess. And I was like, how's my favorite top? And he didn't answer. And then so I texted him like at 7:30 and I was like, did I do something to piss you off or something? Because you've been ignoring me. So what's up with that? He literally said, no, but I am talking to someone pretty serious right now with a thumbs up. I said valid. Good luck. Don't fuck things up. And he left me on red. Oh my gosh. Okay, so like respectfully, I do appreciate him for like saying something like that, because like like women deserve the world, and I would hope that if I'm talking to someone, they react in the same exact way. But I was like, ugh, like, bruh, this is so many denials in the same like 2 days. Then it just gets worse, progressively gets worse, right? So I'm just like putting out all my business. Oh my gosh. This is one hell of a second to last episode. Sorry if you don't like to listen to boy talk, but I haven't really done it. So I'm doing it today. I guess I'm just airing out everything. So I liked this guy like 1 year ago, right? And like he led me on completely. He was taking me on dates and he was coming over to my house and whatnot. And like I was starting to actually like him. And then he was like, okay, I can't talk to you anymore because I'm moving. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, like, where are you moving to? And he was like, oh, like 30 more minutes away from where I live. And I'm like, bruh, you literally live in Bastrop. Like, am I really like not worth it enough? And he like totally gaslit me into thinking that he wanted to be friends with benefits the whole time. But that's not how he was treating me. So, yeah. Anyways, I ended up having feelings for him. And he basically like was like, nah, like I just want to fuck. But you don't take people on dates actively if you just want to fuck. So the math ain't adding up. Then like homeboy will randomly like ask me like how jeans look on him, or he'll send me pictures and be like, what do you think about this one? And I'll like be honest, I'll be like, no, you don't look good in that one, or you look good in that one. And then he also sent me the Halloween nudes that he like took, and I was like, wow, that looks good. And if he sends me a picture and he looks good, I'm like, dang, you look hot, like I'll just be honest with him and whatnot. So today I sent him a TikTok. I know, bruh, I I just need to mind my own fucking business today. It's just not been good at all. Let me see what the TikTok said that I sent him. Right, let's see. I sent him a TikTok and it says, when he has a F-boy appearance but a lover boy personality. I told him waiting for you to get to this point, and he put, I'm a lover boy. I'm so ready to have matching PJs and stay up and watch movies and eat ice cream. And I said, be fucking for real, stop lying. And he's like, I'm not. And this is me projecting for him to say that it's me that he's like falling for and whatnot. Ugh, delusional. This is delusion at its finest. I said, well, cuffing season is almost over, so you better make your move on that girl ASAP. All the good matching sets are being sold out as we speak. And he was like, on what girl? And I was like, whoever you're trying to do those things with, LOL, right? Bruh, I should be crying right now. Like, this is so bad. He literally went from TikTok to messages, and he sent me a video of him with this girl posing and hugging with each other. And I was like, what am I watching? Like, this is not going the way that I wanted it to, right? And so, like, defensively, I was like, bro, those are not matching PJs, right? And he was like, no, I know, but this is a girl I'm doing cutesy stuff with. And then he was like, I got her flowers on the first date. She already has my sweater. And then he said she hasn't opened a door yet and she won't ever. And I put respectfully praying on y'all's downfall. I didn't know what else to say. High key, I was getting like upset because homeboy's been sending me nudes, sending me pictures of him dancing. He has me on his like private story where he's like posting some scandalous pictures and whatever. And he's asking me about his outfits and whatnot and sending me like pictures of himself. Like, bruh, how am I not supposed to get mixed up? And homeboy's texting me all the time. Or texting me back all the time. Because he did say, like, you're starting conversations. I'm just answering them. But in all reality, any guy who I've ever tried to talk to, if they don't want to answer me, they just won't. Like, they will just, like, leave me undelivered. And I told him that. And he was like, well, I'm not that much of an asshole. But he really is an asshole. So I don't understand. Because he's shown me text messages that he's had with other women who he likes. And it's not the same. So I guess, like, either I'm gaslighting myself to think that he's giving me mixed signals, or he's actually giving me mixed signals, but trying to gaslight me into thinking that he's not. So he told me about, them doing all this cutesy stuff. And since I liked him before, I was like, tough to see other people being treated how you wanted to be treated. And I was like, why do you even text me? And he was like, he told me, like, he wanted my advice and whatnot, and he didn't want to leave me undelivered. And he got upset because I had asked him, like, how should I approach this guy, right? Okay, I was halfway, like, I was mostly really wanting to know how I should approach this guy because all of this got set in motion because this dude that I'm talking about right now didn't like me back. So me talking to these other people is me actively trying to get over him. So it was like a test, but also like I needed someone else's input. Like I wanted him to get jealous, and he did because he didn't ever respond until I really pressed him for it. But then now he's like throwing it back in my face, like, you sent me another guy or whatever. But literally, he just sent me another girl. And he sent me like proof of him not responding to people on Tinder. So he's actively swiping on Tinder. Like, he's opened this cut and put salt in it. And then I reopened it back up. And then he's like squeezing it with lemon juice and gushing more salt in it, is what it feels like, right? And basically, I was like, he was saying that he thought that we were friends. And I told him, like, if we were friends, you'd ask me to hang out or go have a drink with you. And that's why I told him, like, I don't think I could be friends with someone who I've slept with before. And I told him, like, you're right. I do start conversations, so I understand that, but I won't do it anymore. And he was saying that because the one time I asked him about another guy, he assumed that we were just friends. And then he asked me, like, so what do you see us as if not friends? And dude, I like dead ass told him straight up. I was like, I asked you to see if you get jealous, but you didn't. But clearly, I don't know how to take a fucking hint. You're making great points here. I'll give you that. And he was like, I'm sorry. And I did have a conversation with him yesterday. And I was like, I told you yesterday, you're in the other category with how I would place him, like, in our relationship. I just told him that he's more in the gray area because I'm attracted to him, but I also know better and I shouldn't be talking to him, but I still do. Because I'm like waiting for him to do something bad enough to where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to talk to him again. But he hasn't. And that's the problem. Clearly, someone needs to punch me and give me a concussion or put me in a coma, and maybe I'd figure this out. Because this will just save me so much time, honestly. And then I told him, like, you sent me videos and nudes, so don't even act like you're innocent. Like, I basically told him, like, you're gaslighting me. And I was like, you don't send those to your friends if we're friends. And then he did get, I think he did get upset. Because he said, I've seen your repost on TikTok. I don't look like your type. Tall, bearded white man. And I was like, what is he talking about? Oh my gosh. I have reposted that Notre Dame quarterback because he's hot. And then I've also reposted this creator named Trevor on TikTok because he posts book talk stuff. And also I've had a crush on him for forever. But Trevor is a creator who lives in Los Angeles. He's never going to notice me. So that's really unrealistic. But I guess he kind of got offended that I wasn't reposting people who look like him. But I was like, you have me on your thirst trap private story, and you sent me nudes, and you sent me mixed signals. And then I was like defending myself. I was like, I don't have a type. If you're hot, period. Which is really true. And he was basically saying that he values my opinions on things. And he was trying to say that his like sexy private story is a gym private story. I don't think that's true. I think he's just trying to make it better for himself, but I don't know. Homeboy could be weird because there be thirst traps on there. And whenever he sends me pictures of himself, I'll be like, oh, you look hot. If you were my friend, I would just be like, oh yeah, like those are really nice. I approve of those if you're a guy. Because respectfully, if you're talking to someone, I would not even be talking to him. Like if I knew that he was entertaining this woman, I would not talk to him because I wouldn't want anything like that to be done behind my back as, a woman. And honestly, like if I were her and I picked up his phone and I looked through our pictures, I would end it right there, because the pictures that we have shared with each other are very inappropriate and I'd be threatened. So had I known that he was talking to someone, I would have just never even spoke to him again, because he always acts like he's single. And then out of the blue, whenever I'm like where you at? Like, it's cuffing season, I'm bored, school finished, basically, he's got a girl. And also, if we were friends, how come he didn't tell me about the girl sooner? Because apparently he's been seeing her. But he's been texting me back? Yeah, so he was actually really adult about it all in the end. He was like, sorry for sending mixed signals. I was just under the impression we were friends. I'll stop though. Don't want to make anything convoluted. Good night, Caitlin. Oh my gosh. Bro, I've taken hit after hit after hit after hit this week. God damn it. Thank God. Today, which is when I'm posting this, Thursday, is Latin night, because I need to get out there. Ugh. This is why I need to stay in school, because now I have been sitting here talking for nearly 20 minutes about how shitty my taste in men has been and how many shots I've taken and they have all missed. Bruh, I cannot play basketball. All these shots have missed. I have zero riz. I'm gonna be single for life. At least y'all know my podcast will be good, because I have to focus on something, because the guys are paying attention to me. So my podcast will always be good. Y'all can always count on me for that, because I'll have nothing else to do. Ugh, that's terrible. Bruh, you know what? Have y'all seen that new app called Laps? Dude, so like the first person who ever invited me onto it was my ex, and since they invited me, they're automatically my friend whenever I join. And I didn't join because of them. I joined because Emily sent it to me, and that's when I joined, right? But since my ex was on there, I got to see that he has a girlfriend now too. But I hung out with homeboy. Like, what? Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Literally, this is terrible. You know what? This is why I'd rather stay single. And you know what? I also know that these people not texting me back is probably karma for all the times that I haven't texted other people back. And it's just catching up with me. And honestly, this shit is so miserable. It really is. Like, I don't know. There's no way to be cool about this, but I have been denied a lot this week. So you bet your ass I'm going out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this weekend. Fuck it. Congratulations. We're done with school. It's time to get out of hibernation. I have even been posting more on my personal Instagram because I'm trying to get the hoes. Even though I don't want any hoes, I just want one, and make them a hoe to my boyfriend. Because let's be honest, I don't need any more situationships. I don't need any more people pissing me off, hurting my feelings, getting my hopes up high for shit that doesn't exist. You know what? You know what's another one of my problems? Is that I over romanticize people. Because I read so many romance books and I watch a lot of romance in general, I am over romanticizing the way that these people are going to talk to me and the things that they are gonna, do with me and the way they'll act towards me. Yeah, no. This shit is a joke. Complete joke. I am over romanticizing the idea of these people, and I am making these versions of them that are way better than the ones that they are in real life in my head. And then every single time that I try, I get let down. Literally, I get let down. Ladies, you know what they say. Summer bodies are made in the winter, and winter is the best time to start waxing. Kicking It with Caitlin is partnered with Naomi's Waxing and More to offer you $5 off your first service. Naomi specializes in Brazilian, brow, and underarm waxing. She also offers brow laminations that I know you've been seeing all over social media. Y'all, be fucking for real. I would not steer you wrong. Naomi has been my go-to girl for almost 2 years now, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Don't forget to mention my podcast for $5 off your first service. Don't be a hoochie and wax your coochie with Naomi's Waxing and More. So anyways, none of that was supposed to be in today's episode, but I had to vent. And you put a microphone in front of my face, I'm going to start running my mouth. So sorry, not sorry. You're welcome to click out at any time, but yeah, I had to vent. And the beginning of the episode is probably the worst time to vent too. Because if someone that I like ends up on my page and they hear that, no doubt, I am not an option. Because what I talk about, like 4 different guys I texted like in the last 2 days and school's not even out yet. Like, bruh, I'm going to be real with y'all. I only got like 4 or 5 people in my pocket and 3 of them just eliminated themselves. Like, bruh, this is just the universe telling me that I need to focus on my podcast. And I need to focus on getting my money up with work. And I need to spend more time with my friends. Because honestly, after saying this and thinking about this, that I'm going to upload this, it's fucking pathetic. And I'm not going to sit here and say that men suck. Because realistically, only one of them did something wrong. And that was the last guy. The last guy isn't the one that gave me mixed signals. I would only categorize him as doing me wrong. Actually, the one that I texted on Instagram, that was foul. He really left me on red. And he works at one of the bars that I go to. I have never ordered drinks from him because I'm kind of shy. You want to hear something else? So my other option that I had been wanting to do was to order a drink from him, write my like phone number on a sticky note and be like, text me ? I think that would have been a lot more cute. But one day when I was scrolling through TikTok, it asked me if I knew him. I don't have his number, so that means that he has my number. So he would still have my number. He had every like opportunity to reach out for he had every opportunity to reach out to me and he didn't. So, you know what? Maybe I should have just liked all his Instagram posts and then, yeah. Because that would have saved me the humiliation, in all honesty. Okay, so one of the segments that I did... This is a hell of a transition. Sorry. One of the segments that I did want to actually talk about in the podcast was Gen Z stereotypes. Originally, this is the topic that I had for my final vodcast, but a lot of these sparked, conversations that I didn't think I'd have out loud. Like, I didn't think I'd share these with people, but I find them really interesting because I do see a lot of myself in these stereotypes and I want to talk about it. But first, I do want to say that someone needs to decide a hard stop of when Gen Z ends and when it begins, because in some reports I saw it started in 95 and it went all the way to 2010. In others, it was 97 to 2015. It's a mess, in all honesty, but I am born in 2001, so regardless of which way they put it, I think it's supposed to be 2000s to 2010. That's one generation. Like, why am I going to be in the same generation as someone who was born in 2015? Someone who was 16 and pregnant could have their kid, and their kid is in the same generation as them. That's just wrong. So, sidetracked. But yeah, they just need to make a hard stop on it. I end up in Gen Z regardless of how you put it. And I honestly had picked this for my vodcast before because I do talk a lot of shit about other people. And by talking about Gen Z stereotypes, which I fall into, I technically be talking shit about myself. Even though after that first segment, I've just like beat myself down to a bloody pulp and exposed myself and my failures in the past 2 days. Fuck it. Let's just keep going. My ego is already at a negative right now. Honestly, not very much can make it worse. And at this point, I'm going to edit this, stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning watching sad movies because I feel like I need to cry, but I need something to cry about. That's one thing about me that I refuse to do. I won't just cry because I'm sad. I need to have something to cry about. So I'm probably going to watch a movie and then bawl my eyes out and use it as an excuse. I always do that. Anyways, back to what I was saying. One that really struck me was that in one article it said that that Gen Z can't build strong interpersonal relationships. So basically what that means is that we struggle with connecting to people other than just ourselves. Of course, I want to sit here and say that none of these stereotypes are right because no one wants to fall into a stereotype, but they're stereotypes for a reason. And honestly, after thinking about it, I think that the majority, if not all of Gen Z, falls into this category heavily. One example that I have is that, like, I remember growing up and we would walk into HEB, we as in like me, my brother, and my parents, and my parents would know someone around every corner and they would stop to say hello. They would give like the bro hug or spike up a conversation or at least wave, and acknowledge them. But I don't think that we do that. Like, I started noticing this when I turned 21 and I started going to the club. I would see people that I knew from Snapchat or Instagram, and we would just like actively ignore each other the whole time that we're there. Like, we know that we're there, but we won't acknowledge that we have seen each other. And that is so embarrassing for me to say out loud because it's really not that hard to just like wave at someone. Like, it's really not. And, I'm guilty for not doing it, but the other party is just as guilty for not acknowledging that I'm there either. So none of us are innocent. I think that something that plays a role in this is our egos. I think that, well, you know what? I'm not going to say we. I'm going to speak from my stance. I'm scared to be rejected or scared to be blown off by someone that I say hi to. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, imagine waving hi to someone and they just look the other way. How fucked is that? But let's be real, people. Like, we shouldn't even be thinking of possibilities like that if we were a halfway decent person. Genuinely, like, social media was made to network and make friends. And honestly, we use it as this like way to rank ourselves in society. That's so lame. Like, if you know someone from social media, I feel like you should be okay with acknowledging them in person. Because I'm sitting here and maybe I have you on Snapchat. Dude, I know what you ate for breakfast this morning and you're not even going to wave hi to me in the club. Like, what's up with that? Like, that's so silly. But a lot of us are like that. And another thing that I struggle with is having someone on Instagram or Snapchat or like any social media, someone as in like a guy, and then saying hello. I don't want them to think that I have a crush on them or like I'm into them. I just want to simply say hello because I don't know who's talking to you or who's looking at us. Like, I don't want to be a threat, but I still want to network. Like, from here on out, I will be saying hello to people that I know on social media because it's really not that hard. Like, just say what's up. You don't have to buy them a drink. You don't have to dance on them. That's not an invitation for that. But I think that we all need to start putting ourselves more out there because it's just not the same. Like, I don't think that we have a good sense of community. We live in a small town. There's not that many people in it. The majority of us who have been here know, who everyone is at the club unless they're from like Texas State and they moved and then they party there, which there are a good amount. But I would say at the bar I go to, there is an even bigger amount of people that I went to high school with or went to the rival high school, and I know exactly who like half of the dance floor is. But we will dance around each other the whole time, or we will shuffle through each other the whole time and act like we're non-existent. Honestly, that's so shallow of us. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to try a lot harder to stop being like that. Because if you think about it, it's really silly. Like, if you know somebody, just say hello. Like, it doesn't hurt to do that. So I'm going to try to be better at that. That's for sure. Another stereotype is that Gen Z overshares their opinions. Dude, I'm sitting here talking about my friends with benefits and how I got denied 4 times in the last 2 days. Like, yes, we do overshare, especially me. But also, everyone has a platform. Everyone has social media, and we're all granted this platform. So I feel like we'd be robbing ourselves if we didn't use it to share our opinions. I will say that I think boomers made this list, and when they say overshare their opinions, to me, I'm thinking that they think we overshare our opinions on politics and stuff like that, because I have noticed that the people that I follow on Instagram, they're reposting the same like political things. I'm not sure what word to use. They're reposting quotes from the same politicians as I am. Like, we think similarly. And I feel as though if you didn't know anything about the candidates that you're voting for, if you would have seen like 2 or 3 people post something about them, you're automatically going to pick them because that's where your community resides. And if you are following these people, you have something in common. So you could be blindly voting for someone. And I think that's what they mean by oversharing their opinions, because whenever I was growing up, my parents said it was really taboo and you're not supposed to talk about who you're going to vote for. And now we just openly share everything. Sometimes I think we overshare. Like, I don't need to know what happens in the bathroom. I don't. Please don't tell me. Don't tell me personally, but put it on a podcast and put it up and I'll laugh and laugh. I think that's so funny. But don't tell me in person because I don't know how to react. But yeah. Anyways, we overshare. I definitely overshare, but I also just think that at some point everyone wants to be heard or people want to be seen, and we're in a world full of people with platforms, so you might as well just put it out there because the chances of someone actually seeing it is pretty slim. You're not really taking any chances by putting yourself out there. Okay, another one that I really, really, really liked because it does, they're talking about me in one case, and I'll explain that. So Gen Z has no respect and they're entitled. Like I said, I think a boomer made this list. I do apologize. I am being ageist, but I thoroughly think that way because of the way the article was written and the stereotypes that are given. That's just my opinion, though. So, to me, when I read this, I read it as we don't respect our elders, right? If that's the case, I fall into this category 100%. I think that the whole respecting our elders thing is complete bullshit. I don't care how old you are. If you're coming at me sideways, don't expect me to just lay down and take it. I am a 22-year-old woman. And if you're older than me, I think that you're old enough to know better. Now that I said that out loud, I am speaking aggressively about this topic, but I am respectful to those who are respectful to me. I work in retail. I always ask people like, hey, how are you doing? How can I help you? Stuff like that. But if you start to raise your voice at me and I haven't done shit to you, do not expect me to be nice. If you are coming at me sideways, unprovoked, no, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. If Karen wants to get crunk with me, best believe that I will be flying across that counter, taking off her wig. Like, I am not putting up with that. But also, on some real shit, there are a lot of Gen Z who are really entitled and disrespectful outside of just respecting our elders. Like, I've noticed since I've been in college, it's full of Gen Z. I go to a community college. It's either way older people or Gen Z and younger. I don't hear people saying bless you. There's no please or thank yous that are happening. People don't hold the doors for each other anymore. And something that I've been seeing more and more as I've become a passive driver is that people don't let others merge. Like, it's really not that hard. Like, if you let one car merge, karma's gonna be nice to you that day. Like, we're all gonna be in the same line. Just let the person in. It's not that hard. Honestly, the little things like saying please and thank you is really what boils my blood. Like, if I'm holding the door open for you and there's already a rare amount of people who are doing that in the first place, you bet your ass you better be saying thank you to me, especially if you're a grown-ass man and I'm holding the door for you. Bitch, I ain't holding the door for you because I think you're cute. No, I'm holding the door for you because you're just a human. Do not expect me to do that for you. I did that out of the kindness of my heart. You at least could say thank you. As you can see, I've got a little crunk over that because it's happened to me too many times. Like, I've already explained, I love chivalry. I am expecting the guy to hold the door for me. And I'm holding the doors for guys and they're not even saying thank you. That's some bullshit. But, I did want to point the entitlement out because we're not kids anymore. Not everything is catered to us, and we're not first in every lineup anymore. We're adults. So the entitlement and the disrespect needs to stop because we're grown and we need to decide when it is to stop. And I'm telling you right now, it's now, because there is a younger generation behind us and it's their turn to be first and it's their turn to be kids. So we need to respect that and give them their time instead. Honestly, I really contemplated making this episode because I was in a really bad mood whenever I ended my first take, and I didn't want to re-record it because I was kind of getting upset and I was about to cry and whatnot. I really wanted to watch sad movies and just go to bed and, throw in the towel and be like, I'll just give you an episode on Friday. But I'm really glad that I stuck it through. I feel like me talking about it really lifted a weight off my shoulder and I feel a lot better. So thank you to everyone who stayed to the end. I know that's not the usual content, but I just needed to vent, and I really appreciate you being here and listening to me, which I'm sure if you're here and listening to this episode, you've listened to all the other ones, and I just want you to know I am really thankful for you. If there wasn't anyone listening, I would not continue doing this. I would be too upset that no one cares about what I'm saying. So, like, when I say that I appreciate you, I really do. Like, genuinely, I love seeing, like, when just 4 people watch or 4 people listen. Like, that's so special to me. Like, even if you only listen for, like, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you still gave me the time of day to talk my shit and you listened to it. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you. This is just a reminder that next episode is episode 12, which means that it is the last episode of season 1 because we are moving to the video format. I'll continue to post Spotify audio. I said that kind of funky. I'll continue to post regular podcasts with audio, but the video versions of the podcast will also be available on YouTube. I'm still trying to cater to my audio only audience and then also cater to my visual people because I'm a visual person. I'm really excited about this and I hope you guys are too. Also, I wanted to point out, if you're looking to get a wax from Naomi, you can follow my Instagram page, Kicking It with Caitlin. It's kickingitw.caitlin. She's the only other person that I follow, and I intend to keep it that way. I want to do that for my sponsors, partnerships, and ad reads, just so that it's easier for you guys to find these people. No hard feelings. I'm sorry if I'm not following you back, but that's just the way that I've decided to do it because I think it's smarter for, the partnerships and ads. Like, it just works well in my mind. So again, it's no hard feelings if I don't follow you back. I will definitely follow you back on my personal Instagram account because I'm also going to be real with you. Unless you're posting or commenting on my stuff, Kicking It with Caitlin, I'm not scrolling through Instagram on my business account. I'll scroll through on my personal account and I'll interact with you in your media page, but my podcasting page is not a good one for me to sit there and like your stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I just felt the need to explain that. Yeah, but that's it for today. I feel relieved. I really do. I have no idea what I'm going to do for episode 12, but I'm going to start working on it right now. I don't know if I'm going to make it really long or if I'm going to make it like regular 1 hour. I don't know, but hopefully I can come up with something that's really cool for the last episode because I never intended, to even have a podcast. And it blows me away that I've made it this far and we're still continuing. So yeah, I'm going to stop blabbing because my voice is starting to get raw. I'm going to go still watch a sad movie and cry because I do need a good cry, but that's it for today. I'll see you next week for episode 12. I am really excited and I hope you guys have a good weekend. So again, I just don't want to leave y'all. I'm so sorry. I keep saying thanks, but I don't want to leave you. Well, this is a temporary goodbye for now. So bye, friends.